On to Bellew of the Weeks then for episode 401. Rob Kelly's still with us. Donny Baseball, Matty, Andy, Ozzy, along with me, Steve. Let's get it going.
Let's be totally and brutally honest here. Sean Corbin makes Valery Brudov look like Ivan Drago. It's as simple as that. He's beat what's in front of him tonight. He faces me. He's going to visit mental demons again. And let's get something straight. Come to me, mate. Come to me. Next time, ain't no judges going to be needed. I'm going to do worse than Kovalev. I am going to do worse than Kovalev.
Saturday night, mate, you better hold it together. I'm going to smash it near you to pieces, mate. I'm going to hit him. When he gets in the ring and we get 10-ounce gloves on, I'm going to smash his head to bits.
I'm going to do it November the 30th against all odds. No matter what people say, the journalists write what you want. All as I'll say is tune back in and then look at me on December the 1st when I am world champion. It's as simple as that.
I'm willing to die in that ring. It's as simple as that. I am willing to die. I'm willing to die, Saturday. Is he?
You fucking rat!
Shout out to Tony. The man himself may feature in this Bellew of the Weeks or not. Who knows? I haven't had a good look through some of these, so they might be a surprise to me as much as they are to you. First one here from Sean Roberts 131. Nomination for Eddie Hearn for saying he didn't have BT Sports, so he would have to buy a day pass. Remember, though, he isn't bitter. Hashtag Bellew of the Week. Greg Cross, the doctor has spoken. Joseph JOTHD PhD. I ring out this warning to Joyce. Dubois is a no-nonsense boxer, short of vicious. Guards up. Use double jabs. Your 1-2 must be accurate. Body punches when he's close. Do not play with him. Parry jabs. Be careful for cross hooks. If you obey, you shall get a split decision. Wise words from the doctor, I think. I'm not really quite sure what he's saying there, but he's definitely saying something. Billy Boy One over on Twitter has nominated Boxpreneur Oscar De La Hoya, talking out his ass again. In his prime, he would have dusted Triple G. Any top boxer from the 80s and the early 2000s would have dusted any current champion. Oscar's too old now. He'd lose a decision. They're talking about Oscar De La Hoya fighting Canelo, Triple G. Ike Corte, supposed to be coming out of retirement as well. I'm not sure we want to see that. Martin Hurry, another nomination for Dr. Ajayo, who thinks he might get in against the winner of Tyson against Jones Jr. That's never going to happen because it ended up as a draw. Sorry, Doctor. McKenna 27. Great early Bellew of the Week contender here for Paco Valcarcel. If Dubois doesn't defend his WBO international title next Saturday, the title will be declared vacant. Don't blame me. Blame the British Boxing Board of Control for being arbitrary and discriminatory. What about that then, Ozzy? Don't blame Paco. It's not his fault, but that title was not on the line.
He's raging that he didn't get his sanction fee money last night.
Do you know what?
He fucking followed me off the back of my comments on that day.
Get in touch with him, see if he fancies an appearance on the pod.
Nah, fuck that, mate.
See his disgust about the belt not being on the line. Well, do you know what? It had all the makings of a brilliant fight, but the fact that this wasn't on the line just took the edge away from me. Really upset and disappointed. And fingers crossed that Dubois, he may be able to regain that title at a later date.
What about Joe Joyce? You're forgetting about him. He's gone through all that. He's won the fight. He's, and then he hasn't even got the belt around his waist.
He probably had a sleepless night, actually, thinking, I've done all of this, but that WBO belt is just staying locked away. What a shame.
Absolutely. Pray for Joe Joyce. Yeah. Next one here, Declan Graffin threw this in last week, but I wanted to include it. Big Daddy Bo, who knows what's going on here. He's tagged in Jason Quigley. When you get off those GG poker official tables and get in the ring, I'll beat your ass in the ring and at the tables. Laugh my ass off, face with tears of joy. Bo is waiting. Let's do this damn thing. What's going on here, Rob? Why is Riddick Big Daddy Bo calling out Jason Quigley and there's poker tables involved?
I don't know, but if I was Jason Quigley, I'd throw the belt in the bin rather than face Riddick Bowe. Yeah, man.
I think one thing's fair to say, Rob. Bowe shouldn't be anywhere near a ring.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about he's legally blind, isn't he? So, I don't know. Maybe you can have a final eliminator against Dubois beforehand. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, Kelly getting brutal on a Sunday evening. Derek Cooper put this one up for you boys, nominated it. I think Cam Butterfield is one of them. Here we go again, back in AJ when he quit, having a dig at a 23-year-old kid who's surprisingly not a matchroom fighter when he quit. I can't believe he's having a go at poor Tony here. After AJ lost to Ruiz, Tony said, "We shouldn't write anyone off and I think it's a disgrace that there are people out there kicking the man when he's down. People who are in boxing want to thank their lucky stars Joshua is involved because there's never been more money in the sport, and a lot of that is down to Anthony Joshua. When he's changed his tune after Dubois, don't ever spew it, son. My coach, John Doolan Duke, told me this when I was 18 years old. The first time is always the hardest. Once you've done it once, it only gets easier from then on. Do not ever spew it. That stuck with me my whole career. Thank you, Duke. I never did."
He never did after Donna Stevenson, or no?
Just leave him alone for fuck's
Leave
sake.
him alone. No, look, I'm on record as actually praising Tony Bellew about his career and the things that he did for overachieving in the sport and earning so much money for a fellow of his ability. But there was big question marks about Bellew after Adonis Stevenson. Lots of the boxing public reckon he jacked it that night. So maybe he shouldn't be talking.
He got slated for coming out with that push that he was willing to die in the ring and all that type of shit, or he was going to kill someone and all that. He said someone pulled up a tweet for him last week in that as well, but so he has got form in that, and then he kind of it's like he's all of a sudden kind of grew up as such. It's just this typical mantra. It's becoming quite tiresome. What he's really wanting to say is, you haven't boxed, so you haven't got a fucking opinion. I can speak because I've fought. And when you've done it at my level, then you can have an opinion. So there's a lot of that going about in their mind. You see people slating football players all the time. You never hear anybody getting mock offended or disgusted and coming back with a fucking tweet or something like that saying, "That's a disgrace, sticking up for the fucking football player," or whatever than that. It's MTK, matchroom aligned people, fighters, managers, trainers and stuff like that, all coming out saying that Dubois swallowed it there last night. It'd have been interesting if Dubois had been a matchroom fighter, swallowed the fucking fight, and what kind of outtake and outbreak of comments we would be getting today with some of these interviews and stuff that Spiddle was talking about. Would they be a quitter? No, man, it'll be like, you've no fault. You didn't know what it's like to take a shot with broken orbital bone and all that type of stuff and that. You know what it's like.
I want to know who actually told Tony Bellew the result of this fight. How did they find him to get him this information? Where was he?
Round Desi's house buying the BT Day Pass.
Though, I cannot stand that view that basically, if you've not been, say, a pro boxer, shut your mouth, you don't have an opinion. That literally means you can't speak about anything apart from what your profession is.
Exactly.
I assume Tony never complains about any food, because if he does, I hope the chef comes out and says, "Are you a chef? Are you a qualified chef?" No, shut the fuck up then.
Tony Bellew in a restaurant, as if he's going to be seen in public like that, Oz. Come on.
Anthony Bellew. Tony is his alter ego, isn't it?
He'd be in the back alley eating at the bins probably.
With the Gimps from Gimpville Island. Let's move on. Tony, always putting himself in the limelight in the picture. Who have we got here? Rob Rinaldi talking about it's hilarious that people outright dismiss Joyce's chances versus Usyk. Usyk will be 34, injury prone, blah, blah, blah. Naota used to be on the Boxing Coalition, I think. Since they first met in the WSB, Joyce has more fully developed and progressed. Usyk progressed to a certain level, but has seemed to plateau lately and may even be declining slightly. I think he's making a case for Joyce maybe beating Usyk in the pros. JS Park again, excuse me, nominated him for Bellew of the Week for that one. The Boxing Madman.
I don't think that's an unrealistic shout, by the way. Joyce.
Yeah, I don't think that's BOTW wordy myself. I don't think that's.
I'm just the messenger, gentlemen.
Leave Steve alone.
Mate, he's got as good a chance. I mean, fuck me, yeah. Usyk beat Chisora, but Chisora gave Usyk a fairly decent fight. And Joyce would beat Derek Chisora pretty comfortably. I don't think that's the most unrealistic of opinions. I think saying Usyk's plateaued and things like that, slightly declining, I think that's tough to say, given, he's still working his way into heavyweight. So I'm not going to say he's plateaued and declining, but to say that, to highlight that Joyce beating Usyk's like Bellew of the Week, that's not unrealistic at all. If it was Dave Allen, some of the shouts where we saw Dave Allen had beat Povetkin, that's Bellew of the Week worthy. But Joyce
disqualified. We're going to disqualify that one, us. We're not fucking accepting that.
Yeah,
when Bellew of the Week nominations go wrong.
Correct. Yeah.
JS Park again. It's backfired. The Boxing Madman nominating who the fighter by 8 rounds. We don't quite know if it was 8 rounds. I don't think it was. Trading of the Boxing has nominated Eddie Hearn. Yeah, don't mind that one. Zeconomics has nominated the Guru. Seeing Joyce ahead on some cards, you can only laugh. He's not landed a good shot all night, says the Guru. I thought he was coming on tonight, actually. Zeconomics as well has nominated George Foreman. The fight that changes everything, Tyson versus Jones. If this is done successfully, we have a new world of sports. I'm buying it, says George. George again, then it being nominated, I think, by David Almond. Flying through them here. This was a good one. Anybody see this? David Almond, Paul Dempsey for saying that Jack Catchell stepped aside for Jose Mourinho. I tried to cut the video in time, but I didn't get a chance to watch. Do you see it, Andy?
None of us seen it, though.
He said Jack Catchell has to have an eliminator or something to fight Jose Mourinho, and then he goes, "No, Jose Mourinho."
He's having a few moments like this new Dempsey at the minute, and that. You get to wonder about his health a wee bit here.
I know. Oh, good old Dempsey. Yeah, that one as well from Smiggers Titties. Boxing Squared, YouTube comment sections are wild, but this Babich beats Dubois and Joyce comment is a classic example. Will Daniel Dubois beat Joe Joyce? Rio says Alan Babich would take them both down on the same evening. And the final one I have here, Robert Tebbett says, who's the best southpaw heavyweight of all time? And Ricky Ellis, who's a bit of a figure of some fun on Twitter, says Hagler. So there we go. Any nominations for the boys, Rob? Anything for you?
No, but I like that whoever said Alan Babich beats him on the same night his name was Rio Babich.
Calling that one into question, Rob.
Yeah, slightly biased. I think the Snoop commentary. As I said, I haven't seen the fights. I've just seen clips of the Jones Tyson fight. But Snoop was talking over his fellow commentators more than me after I've had a few jars when it comes to Bellew of the Week. Like, to be honest with you, he was fucking interrupting left, right, and centre. Plus, he stole that line as well. He said Tyson and Jones are like his two drunk uncles fighting at a barbecue, but that was a meme going around from the day before at the weigh-in. So Snoop with a bit of plagiarism there. Should have done the Just Eat advert as well, just to fucking top it off, like, and make it even more farcical. But yeah, nothing. I mean, the matchroom thing with Macklin and all that, like, that's got a fucking. I mean, Macklin as well. Macklin had who did he say? Oh, he did the same, didn't he? Said, "Oh, I can't believe you're slaughtering." Oh no, he said about Kell Brook. Kell Brook fought his heart out against Spence, but then said that Dubois jacked it. So I like the BT Sport guys actually. Frampton and Hay both gave pretty honest assessments last night. That was class. Like, good to see.
So big fan of that. For spade to spade, call it as that. But it was excellent last night.
Yep, big time.
Yeah, well said. Vicky Gravel says, remember when Dempsey called Ronald McIntosh Ronald McDonald? I'm a big Dempsey fan, I must say, for his old school commentary, but whatever he's going through, we're all there along for the ride. Donny, have you got any nominations this week, sir?
Yeah, I guess just for Nate Robinson, who fought on the undercard of the Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight. He talked a lot of shit, and I believe on the eve of the fight, told YouTube star Jake Paul that he was going to beat his ass. Nate Robinson, for whatever it's worth, is a professional athlete. I mean, the man played for many years in the NBA, and Jake Paul is some asshole who plays video games on YouTube. And the YouTube guy knocked his ass out. So
and it was some knockout as well, Donny.
Yeah.
Maybe he had it. Maybe Logan Paul or Johnny Logan or whatever the fuck his name is. Maybe he had an egg weight in his gloves. Who knows? But the internet is ruthless. I saw one brilliant meme when Robinson is face down on the canvas and said, "These YouTubers are heartless." The last words that Nate Robinson heard before he got knocked out were, "Make sure to hit that like and subscribe."
Oh, it was a brutal knockout. I saw the clip on Twitter. I have no idea who Nate Robinson is. I do know Jake Paul as a brother and that, but God, it was some knockout. We're gonna have to move on. Dave Tricks is kicking off here. Matty, any nominations from you for Bellew of the Week, episode 401?
I have nothing, man. What can I say that cocaine hasn't already made Oscar say?
Well said, exactly. Get them fish nuts out. Andy, any nominations from you?
Just the one for me, mate. I don't know if anybody caught it, or someone I've seen on Twitter, and but apparently Jacobs' corner was asked him between rounds if he'd bet on the fight. So I might actually go and watch that now. I might go and watch the entire fight just for that clip alone, you know, to see what his response was. Did anybody catch it? No.
No.
Did I fuck?
So, according to RC Fights on Twitter, that Jacobs just calling and asked him if he'd bet money on the fight. So, pretty phenomenal that actually.
Good nomination. Ozzy, anything from you?
No, I don't think so.
Okie doke, then it's a tough one. I'm leaning towards Bellew, but I'm trying to be a bit more original, a bit more creative, but he just keeps on throwing them in, Rob. So anything else you can give us here? Who are you going for?
Yeah. What are the who? There's no strong really standout contenders.
No, not
They're
really.
They're all pretty tame. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll forfeit my vote for the moment. I can't think.
Maybe Dempsey for Jose Mourinho could be sliding in there.
There's a late one coming. There's a late one coming here for Dubois. Apparently, he apparently mocked Joyce's mum, who's apparently got eye problems or maybe blind or whatever. And that, and then
did he really do this?
I was surprised to hear that because he doesn't seem that type.
I was shocked at that, so I need to go and check that one out. But I see
it.
Joyce's mum. Joyce's mum actually is kind of like came on like YouTube and that. It says like, you quit and all that type of thing. So. No, but,
what?
I'm telling you.
That's getting my nomination, Steve. There you go.
Yeah.
Wait. Do we know that he really? Did he really like? What did he just do? Like do like a Stevie Wonder impression or what the fuck?
No idea.
He said allegedly. He said your ma's legally blind, so you're lucky for that point, so she won't be there to see you get knocked out, something like that.
But she was there, right? And when he got stopped and stuff, that there was some young lassie next to her. Actually had to tell her what. She'd obviously asked what happened. And says he won. He quit, and she just started going mental in the crowd and that. But she's on YouTube. She gave an interview. I don't know if it was IFL or whoever it was and that. But she gave an interview saying that he quit.
That's a sharp riposte from Mrs. Joyce. I'm liking that type of content.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul Dempsey for me. He deserves one because I think he's been building up a good, solid box record lately, hasn't he? With the Jose Mourinho, with the Ronald McDonald, obviously with the Bunty thing. So I'm going for Dempsey. Donnie, who are you going for this week?
Yeah, I'm going for Daniel Dubois now. Apparently, if your opponent's mom is on YouTube talking shit to you, like you know you fucked up. Like, that's fucking classic. Yeah, it's definitely Dubois for me. And knowing that he made that joke, you can't make a joke like that and then not kick somebody's ass. And if if the absolute reverse polar opposite of that happens to you, then you are obviously the Bellew of the week.
Well said, yeah. Take Aim says nomination for Rapstar, who promised to be here tonight. You know, when you open up the StreamYard on a post-fight pod, you end up with some right characters, don't you, Rob? We ended up with Rapstar, Box, I don't know, Knuckles or something last night. Come on. And he had no idea. He didn't even know what we were called.
He was on for an hour and a half. He thanked us all and then was like, what's the name of your pod again? I'm going to come back tomorrow.
I found it. So it was IFL that did it. So for only about 8 minutes, I'll give you the link just now in the chat. She's went in and I'm like...
Going in. Matty, who are you going for this week?
Oscar. God love him. I wish I had his money and his drug dealer.
His wardrobe. Poor Oscar's getting it rough from you this week, Matty.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's I don't feel warm and welcomed. This is not a safe space.
No, absolutely not a safe space here. Andy, who are you going for?
I'm going to go for Dubois for Joyce's mum digging him out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to switch to Dubois as well. What about it, Rob? Should we go for Dubois now after that revelation?
Dubois up Joyce. Joyce's mum wins with the winner there this week. Quality.
Aye, Joyce. Joyce, she might do one of those videos, Rob, you know, when the videos that they call each other out and then the other one, he might call him back out again.
You were crying like a child at the Uncle Anthony's face.
Ozzy, who are you going for?
Yeah, you've got to go with Dubois, haven't you?
Daniel Dubois, congratulations. He might not have defended the WBO international title, but he has won the Bellew of the week, so it's not all bad news for him this weekend. He will return stronger.